So a couple of days ago, we were talking about like growing up and the way we were disciplined.
Yeah.
Right. And how different things are today versus the way they were back in the day. And then like also, you know, we've talked about on this podcast, like disciplining the kids, and it's been forever since I've spanked either one of the kids. And like I've said, when I say spanking them, it's not like I take my belt off and whoop them with the belt.
No.
You know?
He'll just flick them. No.
No. That's a quick like get your shit together.
Oh, we gotta talk about that.
That's a quick
funny.
That's a quick get your shit together. Yeah. That can happen in public. It can happen anywhere. I'm not gonna take off my belt and whoop them in public.
Yeah.
But either way, I haven't done any of that stuff in forever.
Yeah.
In forever. But flicking them was one thing that I used to like. If the kids,
you did only twice. I know that.
I've done it a few times. It's been a long time. I can't remember the last time. But it's one of these things like you guys, I'm sure, have all seen the kid that's losing their fucking mind at the store that they want this, they want that. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't play that shit. So as soon as they start throwing a fit, it's kind of like when, what is it? When you're about to say something inappropriate. Yeah. You know, I just kind of like look to the left, look to the right, make sure nobody's watching. And I fucking load up this middle finger. And I'm just like, wham! And I flicked that kid so hard, right in the middle of his forehead.
My poor baby. Ooh, I was pissed.
And it was like you hear a thump,
and then
and then he was in shock.
He was confused.
It was like for a second, like what the fuck was that? And then all of a sudden, it's like, ah! He just started screaming his freaking head off. And you were looking at me.
I was pissed.
Like I was a fucking asshole.
My baby. Ooh,
you were looking at me like I was a fucking asshole and I'm a piece of shit for doing that. And then the other day we're sitting there talking and we're like, dude, what did they used to do to us when I was a kid? And I was, it came up when we were talking about like Audrey not remembering or whatever. And that kind of shit, you know? And I was telling you that when I was a little kid, I would go to my grandmother's house. And if they called me and I didn't respond and go to them, like if I didn't hear them, even if I didn't hear them, like that's still not acceptable. That's my fault for not hearing them. You know what I mean? So if they had to come and get me, they would grab me by my ear, not by my earlobe, by the top of my ear, and they would like lift me up. So that I would be like up on my tippy toes, and then they would drag me to wherever the hell they want. I'm like, oh shit, you know, like I would be up on my tippy toe and just tippy toeing wherever they took me. So they would do that, and then the flick. They had their own version of the flick, which in Spanish is called un cocotazo.
Cocotazo.
It
sounds like un chingazo.
It's probably un chingazo, same thing. Un cocotazo. It was like you make like your middle finger like a little knuckle. Yeah. Like you stick it out.
Yeah.
And they would just fucking whap, just like right on the top of my head. And I'm like, bam. I'm like, oh shit, that hurt. and that was the equivalent. And cocotazo in Spanish.
Oh my God.
Or cocotazo in English is concussion. That's what that stands for. But that was the equivalent of like my flick.
Oh my God.
You know? So my flick, like I'm sure it hurts some. Yeah. It doesn't hurt like getting a fucking knuckle smashed into your skull.
And I do that to you.
No, and you've never done it like that.
No, but I give you the knuckle.
Oh, you'll give me like a little noogie. No, this is a fucking whap, like with a knuckle right on the top of the head.
No.
And I remember I would be at the store or wherever. Like if I was just acting a fool being a kid, it was like bam, and I'm like, oh. And I'm like, dude, these like I used to get whooped. I used to get whooped with a belt. I would get my ears pulled. I would get a cocotazo and you know, to be fair for everybody out there, like relax. Like when I look back on it now, I got the whoopings that I deserved. Yeah. You know, like I had them coming. Yeah. So, but at the same time, when we were looking at our kids, and it's like, okay, they get a couple swats on the ass.
No, they haven't.
Well, they haven't recently, but went back before. Like if they got out of line or if we had to tell them over and over and over and over again, then at a certain point, it was like, all right, well, you obviously don't give a shit, so you got to snap at it. And then it'd be a couple swats on the ass, they would cry, and then it was over. Or if we were in public, or if it was like a quick, I need you to snap out of this shit, it would be that flick on the forehead. Mm-hmm. But man, and then we were thinking like, oh man, that's so messed up. Well,
but you know
flicking
what?
them in the head and all that shit.
And then I told him, you know what though? We turned out pretty good. So maybe we should just start smacking them in the mouth.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember if I were to talk back or look at her a certain way, no, I'd get, I'd get
popped in the mouth.
Yeah, but yeah, our kids, and maybe that's just, what the kids need today. Now they know, well, hey,
so that's
I'll call the cops on you.
Go old school. And if you need to give them a good beating, there's a place that is it's like a safe haven, which is Walmart. And I guess if you go to Walmart and people just do whatever the fuck they want there, they beat the shit out of their kids, they yell at their kids. You see some special people out there. So
that's crazy though, because if you talk to a lot of, adults, our age that, I'm sure they all got whooped,
Yeah.
And they turned out all right.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe it's not all bad. That's the thing is that when you start getting older, actually as a kid, you think to yourself, I'm never going to do what you guys do to me, to my kids when I get older.
Yeah.
And then when you get older, you're like, maybe I should whoop these kids.